So now we're going to use one of Sampler's LFOs to make our vocal chop lead a little more interesting. We'll start by turning it on, then deciding what part of Sampler we want to modulate with our LFO, and finally, we'll massage our LFO's shape and rate. In case you're unfamiliar with LFOs, LFOs are awesome because they can alter parameters of your MIDI instrument for you. Basically, they can really easily give your instrument a little bit of spice or character in a quick and easy fashion. So let's first find and engage LFO. We'll do that by going to the Modulation tab, and then we can switch on any of these LFOs. I'm just going to go with this one. So we found our LFO in the Mod tab. So we're ready to start digging in to making this LFO do something. First of all, we need to decide what we want to modulate with this LFO. We can actually mix and match between volume, panning, filter, and pitch with this LFO. You get the idea. A lot of different options here. I think I'm going to go with pan because by mixing in a little bit of panning LFO, it's going to widen out the sound. And this is a great trick that I often use to make mono sounds stereo. I'll come back to this amount in a bit. So we decided what we wanted to modulate with this LFO, and now we need to go over some of these parameters up here. In particular, we're going to need to be very careful about the shape and the rate. These are the shapes that you can choose from. Random, saws, triangle, square, sine. Now, for example, if you wanted your sound to do like a hard jump between left and right, you could do this square. I don't want that. I want my sample to move more smoothly across the stereo field, so I'm going to go with a sine wave. And now as for the speed, we can choose between hertz or musical values, but I'm going to go with hertz. I just find it a little more interesting. And I want it to be slower so that the panning effect is not super noticeable. Can't be too slow though, that might also be noticeable. So it's all about finding that sweet spot. And this is where I just play around until I find the right balance between the rate and the amount. It's all about using your ears when it comes to getting these final stages of things like LFO. Just going to loop up a couple notes. Yeah, somewhere like around 2.5 hertz and around 35% or so is kind of a nice balance to me. It's widening it out, but it's not too noticeable. So that was Sampler's LFO in action. We started by finding the LFO and turning it on. Then we decided to use a sine wave to modulate the panning of our sampler. And then finally, we massaged the rate and amount until we found a good balance.